Okay, I'm okay. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, the Bronson Sky Library. Today I am going to be doing a book review, or a book series review, for the Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne. These lovely books are the books that I will be reviewing today. It's Malice, Valor, Ruin, and Wrath. These are the books that I will be reviewing today. Enjoy. Hopefully this review is coherent. So I have recorded this several times. So I recorded it about a week ago, and I went to edit the video and I was out of focus the entire time. And then I tried to record it the next day, and I think I recorded and re-recorded about 15-20 times because I just could not get the words out. I don't know what was wrong with me. And so that is why I decided to wear my disheveled goblin hoodie from Daniel Green's collection thing, because my words just didn't work out. Anyway, so hopefully this review will go well. I have written down some notes about the series, and so hopefully these notes will do it justice. Okay, so I guess I will start out with what the series is about. So the series is about a chosen one who is destined to fight in this god war and defeat who we call the Black Sun. Yeah. That's basically what the series is about. So it's really fun. I think what I will do with this review is I will say some pros, and then I will go into some cons, and then some pros, cons, and I guess we'll just go from there. Anyway, so the first pro that I will say about this series is that it dives into that classic fantasy feel. Because it is this chosen one trope, and there's this big massive war going on, it definitely has that classic fantasy vibe to it, and I think that just adds a little bit of nostalgic so I think it just adds this nostalgic factor into the series, and so it's this classic fantasy while with this nostalgia added onto it, while also being kind of modern in a way. Like, the dialogue is modern, the writing style is modern, and so I feel like it has, again, that classic fantasy feel, that nostalgic feeling, while being refreshing and new. One con I will say is that there are a lot of POVs in this series. Like, a lot. There were so many that it was so hard to keep track of which character was which, and who was who did what, and all of that kind of stuff. And I know this was Gwynne's debut series, and so I think it might have, having all of those POVs might have kind of hindered the series from being amazing, at least for me, because of how many characters I had to keep track of. It was just really, really hard. I will say, though, even though there were a lot of POVs and it was hard to keep track of who was who, I think this is a pro, I think Gwynne does such a great job with character work. The relationships between the characters are so well done, and there's a lot of wholesome and tender scenes between characters that Gwynne is a master at writing. There were so many scenes between, let's say, Corbin and Gar, or Corbin and his sister, or Corbin and his precious little animal companion, Storm. It's just, and it's not just Corbin and someone else and Corbin and someone else. It's also Veritas between Alcyone, or at least I think that's how you pronounce it. But there are just so many well done characters in this series that even though there's a lot of characters to keep track of, the characters that you connect to are masterfully written. And there are other characters that I just don't remember at all. So that is it. It's somewhat of a con and somewhat of a pro, because the characters are so well done, while there's so many POVs that there are some that kind of aren't done as well as other characters. So yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag, I think. One con about the series is the journey felt super long to me. The series I read in about a year and a few months, so it did take me a while to read the series, but it just, I guess there were just certain tropes within the series that were used a lot that kind of hindered my enjoyment of the series. And I think one of the tropes was the damsel in distress trope. There are just a couple characters in the series that get kidnapped quite a bit, and I got kind of tired of it. And it was these two characters that I think are some of the most badass characters in this series, and yet they kept getting kidnapped. And I was like, can we please not have Corbin or his sister get kidnapped anymore? And so yeah, that's just another con to the series, is that I felt the journey to get to the end just took way too long. And something that I really like about, say, the Stormlight Archive series is that all of the characters that are in this war band are already together by book 2. They know who each other are, they collaborate with each other, but in the Faithful and the Fallen series, it takes basically until the very end for the entire warband to get together. And it just made me feel like it added to the feeling. I feel like that just added on to how long it felt. I don't know, I would have rather had the whole entire warband get together by, I don't know, the second book or something like that, because it just felt a little long to me. So that's another con. But a pro are the endings to the series, to each book. The endings to each book are phenomenal. And I think even though the journey felt really long, I think that the endings of each book just kind of makes up for how long that journey felt. Because the endings to each book just left at a cliffhanger, and it just made you want to read on to the next. The endings were phenomenal, so that is definitely a pro. And the ending to the series altogether is so good. Oh my gosh. Even though that whole journey felt so long, the ending, Gwynne wrote the ending so well, and it just kind of made up for how long the journey felt. One little con I would say is that the magic isn't well fleshed out, in my opinion, because it's not used as much, so I didn't really understand the magic system a whole lot. I wish it would have been used a lot more, but what we got from the magic system, it was really cool. I think it's pretty elemental, I think, and there's also some magical artifacts, which also adds into the classic fantasy aspect of this series, which I think is a pro to the series, but I just wish it would have been utilized a little bit more. I will say that Gwynne, I have a hard time with action and battle and war scenes, because sometimes they're just not all that interesting to me. I just have a hard time picturing these battle scenes, but I think Gwynne is a master at writing battle scenes. I think he is so good at writing them. I don't think I've read an author that is that good. Maybe there are authors out there that write battle scenes really, really well, like Gwynne, but I think Gwynne's battle scenes were just a little more accessible to me than I have read in the past. So that is definitely a pro to this series. Anyway, I think that's basically about it. So overall, this series is really, really good. I would highly recommend it to those who really like classic fantasy novels, because it definitely has that nostalgia and classic fantasy vibe to the series. There's a lot of battle scenes. There's an animal companion that's really cute. There's the Chosen One trope. I know people really like the Chosen One trope, so that is definitely a pro to this series if you like the Chosen One. It may subvert a little bit. Who knows? Yeah. I think that's all I have for this video, for this review. So, again, solid read. I would say it's basically the whole entire series if I'm giving it stars or if I rate them. I rate out of 10 with books, so I would say the series as a whole is a 7 out of 10, maybe? Yeah. 7 out of 10. Yeah, as a whole. 7 out of 10. The books get progressively better, so that is a pro. If you like the first book, you're going to like the second. If you like the second, you're going to love the third. If you loved the third, you're going to love the fourth. You're going to like the series if you like the first book. And, which I did, and I did enjoy the series. There are just a few nitpicks that I have. Anyway, okay, I think that's all. I think that's all I have to say about this book series. Hope you guys read it. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you have read it, please leave me your thoughts on what you thought about this series. If you have the same thoughts as I do, or if you have different thoughts as I do, or what have you, just comment down below. If you want to follow my Bookstagram, you can. That would be under Bronson Sky Library. If you want to follow my Twitter, you can. It is called, the handle is Bronson Sky Books. And please subscribe, like the video if you want, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, bye!